Happy Wednesday, Flosstube. Today is actually Wednesday, not Tuesday. My name is Caroline. Welcome back, Daily Crafty Chat. How's everybody doing today? It is Wednesday, October the 28th. It's almost Halloween. It is almost Halloween. I've what time is it? It is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've done most of the things on my list that I wanted to take care of today. I don't really have any terribly fascinating video for you at the beginning of the episode today. I went to the post office. I went to the FedEx drop-off place. There is one thing that I wanted to share with you. My holly bush is thriving. The female holly bush has produced just masses of berries this year. So I'll try to take some video of that later today or even tomorrow morning when the light is at its best maybe, and I'll share that with you tomorrow because they're just spectacular, and I'd like to maybe cut a few snips and maybe keep it in here with me. So once I've finished up a few other chores on my list, the main thing that I'd like to tackle tonight is to finally finish unpacking from the cottage. I know that sounds ridiculous. I know it really sounds ridiculous, but I still have some bins in my bedroom that we brought home from the cottage that I just have not had a chance to get into because things have been very busy, and no complaints. It's been a wonderful kind of busy, but it's time to get my bedroom sorted out and back to, you know, a little bit less clutter in there. So I need to go through those bins. So that's really my main focus for tonight, is to clear out those bins. And then hopefully, you know, get a little bit more stitching time tonight. That is the goal. I kid you not, I tried yesterday, but my eyes just closed. I was just too tired. So I did do some, and I think this goes to show me that when you just stick with one project, you know you don't have a lot of time, but you just stick with one thing that you're working on, and even, you know, just a couple of minutes a day, or even just like 2 minutes, all you can do is 5 stitches. I'm actually, you know, seeing some progress. So anyways, here you go. This is Jeanette Douglas Blooming Bouquets number 4, which is called Beautiful. I am hosting a stitch along of this entire series. You don't have to stitch all of them. You choose whichever one is your favorite, and you can join us over on the Facebook group Friday Off the Grid if you decide to join in. We're sharing our progress over there, and I haven't picked an end date yet for this sale because I knew that I was going to have a bit of a slow start, and I know that there are still a few people who would like to participate who are still waiting for their supplies. They haven't been able to start yet. So this is this isn't going to be a quick turnaround stitch along, so feel free to join in any time. Jeanette has just come out with her 5th blooming bouquet, which is Thankful. Is it Thankful or Grateful? I think it's Grateful. I'm gonna have to double check that. But the fifth blooming bouquet is absolutely gorgeous fall colors, really, really beautiful. So I'm looking forward to having a closer peek at that one too. Okay, so blooming bouquets, you might remember I was working on the bottom border. I am still working on the bottom border. So not a lot of progress, but that's okay. I'll take what I can get. Of course, you can see that I've started in on the 3rd flower. I fully completed the rest of the leaves in here of this vine, and then I had some leftover thread, the medium green, that I then completed the rest of this leaf up here in that vine. So I'm gonna carry on, and I'm gonna finish this flower next. I'd love to completely finish this. I think I'm going to work from the bottom up so that I can watch my progress. I'm going to really try hard not to be too tempted to skip ahead and jump up to the vase, because I'd like to see those little bits of progress add up to, you know, watch it sort of grow and bloom. How's that? So yeah, it's so pretty. The colors are just so much more beautiful in real life. I mean, the cover photo is gorgeous and I was drawn to it from the cover photo, but you know, actually stitching it for real. I am using the called for materials. Jeanette did provide me with the materials to stitch this, to host the stitch along, and I have to say that it is a real treat. I have given details before on the exact type of fabric and thread, but I don't have that. I only have the cover sheet with me at the moment. So again, I am using the called for materials if you're looking at the chart. And I believe Traditional Stitches in Calgary sells this as a complete set. You can buy everything to make it. So I love it. Very pleased with it. I realize that my progress to share with you is a little bit sad. However, you know, I think we all have these periods in our lives where you know, life happens and we have to take care of other things first before our crafting can kind of take priority. And it's still finding those few moments in your day where you can just take a breath, put in a couple of stitches, and remind yourself why you love this hobby and craft, why you love to craft so much. It just never fails to bring me a smile. Okay, just a word about the Christmas mitten pattern. You might remember a few days back I showed my enormous, beautiful pillow from Miss Patty. And Miss Patty, if you're watching this, I did get your email and I need to write you back. I haven't done that yet. I'm really sorry. I will get to it, but I did read it and thank you. Miss Patty, the gigantic pillow. So that pattern was part of the 2018 Christmas kit that I put out. And at the time, I purchased a large quantity of charts, like the rights to a certain number of charts to go with the bags that I was going to sell. And the designer's name is Rachel Nichols. And at the time, I ended up selling a fair number of bags without the chart, without the PDF. I had some knitters who wanted the wedge totes, and I had a fair number of wedge totes, and so I sold a lot more wedge totes without charts than because you know, when you're trying to guess inventory and who's going to want what, it's really a difficult thing to sort of, you know, predict the future. So I had some leftover charts that I had purchased PDF, like it's, you know, how do you you know what I mean? They're not physical copies, but I did pay for a certain number of PDFs that didn't sell. So what I've done is I've loaded them into the shop, the ones that I have left, and I don't have very many. If they sell out, the few that I have, if they sell out, if there's still more people interested in this chart, it's just a very simple mitten pattern, then I will contact Rachel and see if I can, maybe even she can put them up on her website. I did check her website and she doesn't have this chart available on her site. Maybe she's just forgotten about it. It was quite a while ago. So if the few that I have left sell out, I will contact her if there's interest. So, okay, but I wanted to show you because of course it triggered my memory of the one that I had started. I'm going in a big circle here today, folks. I really am, because I'm going to talk about Teeny Tiny now, which is going to lead me into telling you about someone really amazing. Teeny Tiny, which is then going to lead me into telling you about a little more late night shopping that I did a few weeks back. So we'll get there. Okay, so my mitten pattern, now keep in mind that I am a serial starter, just like Laura. I love to start things, and for me, it's mostly about the process. So yes, I started this in 2018, and no, it's not finished, and that's okay with it, because now that I'm looking at it now, I'm completely inspired to start working on this again, and I just think it is the cutest thing ever. So here is my version of Rachel Nichols' little holiday mitten. And I know those of you who have been with me for over 2 years will remember my teeny tiny mitten, which is the complete antithesis to Miss Patty's gigantic mitten. Mine is about as small as you can get. So I'm doing this on a 32 count linen. Is it a linen? It's a slubby, I don't think that's 32 count. I think this is 28 count. I think this is a 28 count linen, and I'm doing it 1/1. So I finished the outline and I did the trees at the bottom with the snow, and then you know, it got tucked away in a project bag and completely forgotten. And then when I was looking at Miss Patty's mitten, I thought, oh, I wonder where mine is. And so I went through my project bags and I found the one that had a few Christmas things in it that were from a few years ago, and here it is. And so now I'm kind of excited to work on it again. It's going to make the sweetest ornament for my tree. So I remember the reason I stopped, because I was out of a thread. There was a DMC, the teal, you know, the teal color that's in there. I didn't have it, and I did buy it, and I know where it is too. So I have all the threads now. So now I can get back to stitching this little guy and make it a little ornament on my tree. So yes, teeny tiny stitching, which I love, 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 love. The smaller, it's just so delicate and tiny and cute. Okay, so that leads me to the person I wanted to tell you about today. So I wanted to tell you about an Instagram account and also fellow Flosstuber who I have now just recently started following, and her name is Yamir. And her Instagram name is almond_MNMS. So M&Ms. Almond_M&Ms. And I found Yamir through Shiloh, X-Stitch MD, because Shiloh is stitching the Bristol sampler, that beautiful one that she's doing with the, I think is it sulky, the purple, the sulky purple that she's doing, and I think she's just completed a page. Anyways, it was on Shiloh's Instagram page. She posted a photo of hers, and then she mentioned an account, she mentioned a person who was stitching it, and here are the words she used: 1/1 on 56 count. Let that sink in. 1/1 on 56 count lint. I can't even imagine how tiny that is. But luckily for you and I, we don't have to imagine, because through the beauty of Instagram, we can actually see what 1/1 on 56 count looks like. So now, I have totally not asked Yamir's permission, but because I'm fully crediting her and I'm pointing you over in her direction, I'm going to pop in a few of her photos right here so that you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm like, if this kind of stuff floats your boat, run to her account, run to her Flosstube. She has and I've just found her Flosstube channel, so I've only watched like half of one episode, and in fact it was really funny because I think it was an older episode and I was so excited, but then I got into something else. I had to keep sewing, so I had to turn off Flosstube, and in my mind she hadn't recorded in a while. So Yamir commented on my video yesterday, and I'm like, oh yes, I totally wanted to tell everybody about your stitching. Are you going to keep recording Flosstube videos? And then I thought I better go and just pop over to her channel and check when her last one was, and it was like a day ago. So she's recording regularly, and her stitching is phenomenal. So the other picture that I'm going to put in is, you know, the Zimmerman coverlet, the modern folk embroidery Zimmerman coverlet that just came out because of Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hours. The coverlet pattern, the coverlet woven coverlet that has been in her family for a couple of 100 years, a really special family heirloom. Jacob de Graaf, Modern Folk Embroidery, took inspiration from that and designed a pattern for it, the Zimmerman coverlet. And 25% of all proceeds of that chart, Jacob is donating to the Red Door, which is a wonderful charity in the Toronto area. And so Yamir is stitching this. She's finished the first page. She's stitching it 1/1 on a 40 count. 1/1 on 40 count linen. And she's using Auvera Soie Surfine, and her color numbers are 2384. And she's also using a Madeira color 1225 number 40, which is a gold. Honest to goodness, it is just amazing. Okay, so I will either have put those photos in already, or I'll put those photos in now so that you can enjoy. I am going to link to both her Instagram page and her Flosstube in the description box below. Incredible work, so inspiring, so beautiful, and really it just makes you, it kind of blows your mind a little bit when you think of what we can do with a needle and some thread. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So go and check her out. Phenomenal stuff. Okay, so this is not exactly related, but it's sort of, you know how your lives sometimes follow a bit of a course. So speaking about teeny tiny, super fine and middle of the night online shopping, you know, if you're going to online shop in the middle of the night, I see nothing finer than supporting small independent crafting businesses. I think that I am super proud of my nocturnal online shopping, and I don't regret it for a minute. So it arrived in the mail yesterday. Jukas, XJU Designs. I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I just had to have it. I bought two pieces of linen, two small pieces of linen. The first one is a 46 count. Because now that I'm a pro, I'm stitching on 46 count with my Marjorie Massey, it only goes to show that I need more 46 count in my life. And the colorway is called Baby Sheep. So it is, I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. You know, it's later in the day. I'm not sure what time of the day is going to be best for me to record in this room. So it's a lighter color. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. That was not me being rude. It's a beautiful color, and there's definitely like a pale goldy yellow. It's hard to describe, but it's really, really pretty. It's not big, but it is 46 count. So you could do a fairly decent sized design on it. It's so pretty. I like it a lot. And then if you're going 46, what the heck? Might as well try 56. 56 count. 56 count Kingston linen. This is in the colorway Light Mustard. 56 count. This is more of a greeny yellow. Very pale. I always love how Jukas' fabric smells. I know I say that. I know I say it every time, but I can't help it. I just love the smell of it. So I wish you could see these colors a little bit better, because I just don't think that they're showing up very well. So anyways, that was my online shopping. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. Her linen is so beautiful. I love it. All right, and that's all I had to share with you today. I'm sort of, you know, I know it's awaiting me in the other room. So why don't I just sit here for another moment and maybe have a few more sips of my coffee? I also need to really do a lot more laundry. That's backed up again. The kitchen's been, you know, we're keeping the kitchen under control. Dishes and cooking and all of that kind of stuff has been ticking along really well. All other life things are sort of, you know, all being kept up to, you know, a dull roar. So we're doing okay. But not having unpacked those boxes still from the, we came home on October the 12th. And it's the 28th. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's not like the stuff is going anywhere. It's not like there's anything in there that would spoil or go anywhere. It just needs to be unpacked and put away. So, I have the snorer here beside me. Most of you, if I haven't updated you, many of you will ask, and sometimes I will say it, but if you miss the episode where I say it, I'll just repeat myself here. And again, I don't know if I'm repeating myself. I forget what I say. Luna's paw. Luna was dealing with an infected paw for months and months and months. And then ever since the day we adopted her, she had this terrible infection right, you know, deep down inside her rear right paw. She had to wear a boot every time she went outside throughout the winter, and we tried everything. I took her to the vet so many times. We tried so many different medications, and anyways, long story short, we ended up seeing a specialist at a vet in Guelph, Ontario, at the Veterinary College of Ontario. Wonderful vet who finally diagnosed her correctly. And many of you had suggested allergies or bacterial yeast infections, something like that. And it was a combination of allergy slash, so a bacterial infection combined with a yeast infection. And he said it was quite terrible. She'd really obviously had it for a very long time, and it was quite deep. So we had sort of helped it a little bit with some of the medications that we've been treating it with. But what had to happen was we had to completely change her diet, and she doesn't get any treats. She doesn't get anything. You know, if we drop food on the floor, we're very quick to pick it up before she eats it. And we're just really super cautious. Then we discovered in the spring that she has seasonal allergies. Bad seasonal allergies, to the tune of she breaks out in serious hives if she goes outside and someone has just mowed the lawn, something like that. She's allergic to everything. So she's been on a course of Benadryl at night and Reactin in the morning and as well as finishing up the course of the other medications that she was still taking. So those combined with the antihistamines allowed her a much more comfortable summer. So now the next step is for me to take her back to that veterinarian who is going to do some allergy testing on her and possibly put her on some sort of immunotherapy treatment that will be, in the long run, better for her. So she is now 7 years old. We adopted her when she was 6 years old, and she's just about the best companion I could have asked for after losing Daria, because Daria was my dog more than any other animal we've ever had. Daria was really very close to me and close to my heart, and I seem to have found just as lovely a pet in Luna, a constant companion and friend. So thank you to all of you who ask after Luna and her paw and her health, and you know, listen to her gently snoring in the room, and leave me wonderful comments about how your dog is also snoring at the same time, or you think that there's a noise in your kitchen and then you realize it's Luna, and I hope it brings a smile to your face. She's quite loud. Anyways, I think I've procrastinated enough. I think I better go get to work. I hope you're well, and I hope you're safe, and I hope that you have a few moments, even if it's just one, just to take a breath and put a stitch in, something that maybe makes you smile. And I will see you tomorrow. So take care. Happy stitching. Have a great night, everybody.